Hello and welcome to another edition of CineSpeak. I'm Anupam Sinha, you're watching Todez. And the first movie that I'm going to talk about today is Ugramm. Ugramm is not a movie that releases anytime soon. It's not a movie that just released. It's a movie that released way back in 2014. Then why am I talking about a movie that released way back in 2014? Because this movie was directed by none other than Prashant Neel. Any of you who has been following my program must be aware that Prashant Neel is coming up with another movie, and that movie is a movie that I am following very closely, K.G.F. So I had never seen a Prashant Neel movie, and to be honest, I didn't plan to. My idea was to go into the movie and get surprised completely. But a lot of my friends said that I should watch Ugramm in order to understand what Prashant Neel is all about. I saw the movie. And you can call this a movie review, you can call this my reaction to the movie, whatever you feel comfortable with. I started watching the movie and I was mesmerized by the very first sequence that happened. A girl is running, she's being chased by a lot of goons. The girl goes into a garage of sorts, the goons surround her, and then rather than just taking her back to wherever she was supposed to be taken to after being kidnapped, they decide that they would want to have fun. So they start lowering the garage shutter, and there's a very sharp shadow that's falling over the girl. It keeps falling, 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 and that is a precursor that almost feels like this is what is going to happen. And it's like the darkness is descending on the girl. Her life is going to be full of darkness going forward. And suddenly, the hero starts to roll the shutter back, and the girl's darkness starts getting lifted. Now, that kind of symbolism, if a young director is able to come up with that kind of symbolism in the very first sequence of his movie, he has me as a fan. And that's what happened. I became a fan of the movie right at that point. I can go on and on about how the performance was great, how the actress was absolutely mesmerizing, how the actor exuberted the right amount of anger and the right amount of tenderness at the right time. I can go on and on about it. I can also tell you about how cinematographer Ravi Varman, who was making his debut in Kannada movie through this, was absolutely spot on. And I can also go ahead and tell you the similarities that I see when it comes down to post-production work, both in Ugramm as well as K.G.F. But that will be counterproductive, because Ugramm is a different narrative, a different story altogether. K.G.F. is a much larger movie. But I think I'm expecting this movie to be a slightly amplified version of Ugramm. Now, there's another shot. There is a song called Veera in this movie, which is basically a song which shows you in a capsulated manner the journey of the lead character. Now, Sri Murali is dancing, and all of a sudden a bucket of red water is thrown onto him. Right before that, you see a lot of violence going on. And that red bucket of water, the first thing that came to my mind is he's having a blood bath. It's almost like, when children play with each other, they throw buckets of water on each other, and that's like their bathing ritual. It almost gave me, the one word that came to my mind was blood bath. I can give you so many small instances where the director has outdone himself. There were a couple of flaws. I'll not talk about those flaws over here. But the way that the director has created all the characters without going too much into their background, without getting too much into their origin of their thought process, he has not tried to justify anything. They are who they are, unabashedly. They do not apologize, they do not boast, they are who they are. Haripriya's character, extremely well handled. The director knows exactly what needs to be done. I loved the way Ravi Varman and Prashant Neel worked together. And if Bhuvan Gowda is able to bring 50% of what Ravi Varman, and he has, to be brutally honest, Bhuvan Gowda is a superstar in this movie. I am absolutely amazed by the camera work till now, especially in K.G.F. But Ravi Varman again, his sensibilities are much more ripe. But for him to understand the young director so well and to translate it onto the screen, I thought that was amazing. So anybody who's trying to watch K.G.F., take some time off and watch Ugramm. Ugramm is a movie that has extremely good dialogues. I was only able to understand it through subtitles, but they do seem powerful. The acting, both by Sri Murali and by Haripriya, is amazing. Tilak Shekhar, Atul Kulkarni, Jai Jagadish, all of them very good in their roles, doing extremely good job. But I think the star of the movie was definitely the director and Sri Murali. Sri Murali was, I'm blown away. I'm going to watch more of his movies. This is the first time I've seen him on screen, and Sri Murali has that raw power. I'm going to watch more of his movies and try and see if he has had the opportunity to show this kind of intensity in any other movie or not. Or you may suggest it in the comments if you go through this video. But I'm in love with the movie Ugramm. I'm going to watch it again once before I go ahead and watch K.G.F. So that's my take on Ugramm. I'm extremely happy to say that I loved Ugramm. I'm giving it 5 upon 5. I'm giving Prashant 5 upon 5. I'm giving both the stars, Haripriya and Sri Murali, 5 each. And what can I say? It has just made K.G.F. that much more exciting for me. And perhaps if you watch it, it will make much more exciting for you as well. Because I'm talking to a lot of non-Kannadigas here as well. People who do not understand the language, people who do not have an understanding of the history of Kannada cinema. You have to realize that the Kannada cinema is coming up again. And I think this movie is one of the movies, Ugramm, which can be called as a movie that was one of the better movies before K.G.F. So I'm hopeful that you'll go ahead and watch this movie, and you will share your comments about this movie with me as well. Stay with me. After the break, I'll be right back, and I'll share a little more information on K.G.F. with you. Till then, thank you so much.